Welcome to another episode of the Top Corner Podcast. And today is Monday. Is it? No, it's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. To be fair, I mean, this is the one time that you can mess up with it for sure. We had to readjust the shooting schedule, everybody. We've had some awful, not awful. Well, for me, it was awful. For you, it was just hectic. But
yeah,
we are back. I'm hanging on by a thread at the moment, getting over some sort of flu that basically took my entire week from me last week. But I am good now. I've taken some uppers. I'm kidding. I did not do that. This is my upper. Not even product placement. But anyway, how are you doing today, Jordan?
I'm pretty good. Hopefully, just trying to survive.
Same. Mine's a bit more literal, I think, than yours.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I don't think I was that close to death. I've been close to death before. But
no. Well, as long as you're alive, that's all matters,
I guess. Maybe.
Yeah.
This is episode 45, man. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's been a year.
Yep.
Actually, I think we started on August 17th.
Yeah, something like that.
Not last year.
Yeah.
So last week was on, I guess, this week.
Because our first episode was covering the opening week of last year's season.
Yeah.
Which is pretty perfect, actually. And that doesn't include the watch-alongs, the Champions League editions, the Football 101. So we've actually done more than just 45 episodes, but this is the official 45 episode of the
that's pretty
Top
good.
Corner Podcast.
Yeah.
What do you have today, sir? What do you
Man,
got?
I was so up and down, trying to figure stuff that I kind of really forgot. But 80K tier to Crystal Palace.
Is that 100% official, or is that pretty much here we go done?
Here we go.
Yeah, because it's been on
25 million.
Yeah.
It's a fixed fee plus 5 million adds on. KG, I don't know. I think this should be the deal is no. I don't think it's sealed, but that's the rumor.
It sounds right though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
like that sounds like something that should go through.
Yeah, Romano reported on it, so hopefully we get somewhere. I know whenever he's on the news, it's different from another person.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a good place for him?
To Crystal Palace, I think for him as a person or as his career, it could be just relaunching his career in a sense, or B, just making some money while still being the popular view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's also a club that's a bit closer to his quality? And it's always disparaging to talk like that because it's a human being.
Yeah.
But do you think that he was good enough for top 6 or Champions League football in general? Or do you think that a upper mid historically Premier League side, is that more his skill set? Because I think that he's someone that could have still stayed in the Arsenal squad. I, as a supporter, I liked seeing him on the bench or in rotation for cup games.
Yeah.
And he does have a knack of playing very well in those early cup ties.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he is not your starting number 9. And if he wants to start somewhere and take a pay cut and be a little bit more out of the spotlight, but guaranteeing playing time, I always support a player for doing that, because to me that shows you care more about the sport than the things around the sport. I think it's a good move for him. I think that's a good place for him to be, personally. I think that
I mean, he's still young. He still got time to relaunch or readjust or whatever. I think the current Arsenal right now don't probably get him that leeway in terms of they really need someone that's more decisive, and him as a striker wasn't providing that, and they still need one. So that's why even Jesus, that was gonna be is a striker, still don't have a place there, because the way Arsenal is right now, or the level at which they're playing, they really need someone decisive. There's no way. I mean, there's no place for you if you're occupying space.
Yeah, yeah,
basically.
Yeah, they have enough creators.
Position. Yeah,
and he's not, and Nketiah is not really a creator. He does have a good finish in him. He, in his play style, actually is what Arsenal need. It just doesn't seem like he's up to that caliber, because you've seen him finish strongly.
Yeah.
In several occasions over the years. It's just not the consistency. They need somebody that can finish all the time, not finish a little bit of the time, or be the epic chance creator because they've already got a squad full of those. So yeah, there's just really no place for him in there.
Yeah,
right now.
like I said, sometimes he probably could be top 6 material or top 1 material. We don't know, Things happen. He's probably not ready or whatever. We don't get to see people that are actually ready, club ready that young, big club ready that young, unless you like really. I don't want to say really talented, but unless you are him, you like the cool kids say now. Unless you're him, because if you look at Mohamed Salah, right? He was at Chelsea 2014-15. Then he went to Fiorentina on loan, because at that point in Chelsea, it wasn't going good for him. Then he went to Roma for loan. Then at Roma, he became a beast. Then got to Liverpool.
Yeah.
So if you looked at him in 15, you'll be like, they're loaning him everywhere. He's not top 6 material.
Yep.
But after 3 years, oh shoot, he's the guy.
Kevin De Bruyne as well.
Okay, see, so it's one of, even Cole Palmer right now, being at City, he didn't do anything there. But looking at him going to Chelsea now, he is the guy. And the way he plays now.
He actually had a quicker turnaround in terms of like people questioning his quality than De Bruyne or Salah. He kind of immediately, the next club that he went to was like, oh shit, like they were missing out, or not missing out, but like he had skills that can easily translate to other sides.
I think sometimes you just get a little unfortunate where you get to clubs that they probably the system don't work for you. Or there's too many good players at your position and you're too young and not mature enough in the game, not maturity as a player. So I heard Mourinho is going to Arsenal too. I think that one, the deal is still 37 million.
That's pretty much on the same stage as well. That's in the it's all done, but the Twitter post basically.
Okay.
Which is good. Yeah, I think that there were photographs of him landing in London as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean he looks pretty official there. And after seeing what happened with Wolves, you have to kind of think that, because like I'll defend Thomas Partey as well. I think that Thomas Partey, when it's the offensive side of the game and we're building up, he is excellent with long through passes into the box. Like he played well when he had the ball and was distributing the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's time for him to convert back on defense, you can tell he's lost a little bit of a step athletically. He'll leave channels open. But his pros on the offensive build-up do not outweigh the cons of leaving yourself exposed to defense. So letting Declan Rice take that center place, and then Mikel Mourinho that can kind of do everything on the ball. He's a deceptively big guy as well, so he can muscle you out as well. I mean, that seems like a perfect addition as well.
The thing with Partey is at this point he's more of injury prone.
True.
Like
even when he's playing well, he still has that in him.
I don't want to say inconsistency, because you can't really be inconsistent if you're not feeling well.
Right.
That's not the thing.
There's a difference.
I just say injury prone because if you look at Partey when he was in injury prone, you could count on him all season, and you can 100%. See the difference when. That's why I say Arsenal still, in some way they need like a pure CDM or like a Partey style player, because when you watch the game with Partey and without Partey, you kind of see that little lack in the middle where you need someone to thread those really long passes. Even sometimes defensively, the way he kind of moves out of the ball, just especially in that middle, kind of prevents some the opposition to kind of just pass through the middle. So they would try to pass through the wings, you know?
Well, because he has very long legs. Like, you can see him make lunge tackles from what feel like 10 yards away. And you're like, oh my God, what is going on? And like, there's no one else in that squad that can do that. But yes, it does appear like his fitness, and even though his physicality still appears to be somewhat intact, the injury-prone qualities, the age is there. But when he has time on the ball offensively, and he's able to decisively pick his passes, he's still very good. But you can't have somebody out on the field just for that capacity.
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
And they still need a striker. So if anybody listening, come on, guys, please.
That's why
you got a couple of days left. Make something fucking happen, please. Sorry.
I think if they have like a pure, like I'm talking a deadly striker, someone that's, in front of the goal, he don't scare away. The goalkeeper there not challenge him.
At least we know Ollie Watkins isn't the guy anymore. You saw those chances he missed. I'm kidding. He had a very bad day. He had a very bad day.
It happened to everyone. To be honest, I don't know what they're gonna, because Arsenal I don't think they have 100 million to spend on.
And I don't think that they're getting anybody this window.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to either attempt what they did last year, or maybe they just see what it looks like in January.
Yeah.
But even then,
it's still gonna. You know what? So if I'm out there, I gotta understand. If I want to win this thing, I need someone that if I have 5 opportunities in front of the opposition goal, I'm scoring at least 1.
Yeah.
And I gotta go for a striker. Because look at City. They understood we might have all this combination of players, but we don't want to have someone that can put the ball in every single or at every given time. So they went for Haaland.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't need him to be dribbling now. I just want him to put the ball in the net.
Yeah. And don't worry, he can't dribble anyway. And don't worry, that's not even an option. But no, and you might disagree, but January genuinely. Even when I was like a new fan kind of coming in and figuring out how that things worked, I've always assumed, and because it feels like January is kind of only for emergencies.
Yeah.
Like an injury that happens mid-season, or it's never it was our plan all along to get him in halfway through the season to where he has 4 months to figure out what the fuck we're doing. It's like no, it's usually an oh shit, so and so went down, we've got to do something. So if you're waiting to get a striker until January, that doesn't sound smart to me, but you're running out of days. I mean, it's the 27th right now. And so it looks like the only option is January, or foregoing it altogether because you think that you can do this again, and you haven't for 2 seasons.
Going up the winter mercato wasn't really a big thing. It just became a big thing like the 2010s and forward, I guess, because the game changed a lot. And a lot more games, but also become, money wise or whatever. But the thing getting striking right now is good, so you can figure out the team synergy, the team, that chemistry building on, Declan Rice knowing, hey, sometimes this guy he cuts on that corner and you'll find him here. So if I drop a pass here,
I like the ball here. I break for my run here. And it took Havertz half the season last year just to fit me, because he was always either perpetually offside, or he had an open run and didn't make it and just sat in no man's land wondering why he didn't get the ball. You know what I mean? So it's like you need to be able to get all that shit out right now, because like usual, no team in Europe is playing to their best right now.
Yes.
No one's close to their capacity.
Yeah,
Liverpool is the best in terms of like coming out of the gate hot, but you still know with that squad they can do better, but they're the ones performing the best right now. Yeah. So you need those extra early weeks to get the kinks out. Man.
Because mid-November now, teams are already it's pretty much already in motion. The engine is already in, already started. Teams have already figured out what
we're in the steam room shoveling the coal already. Like it's already going on.
We're already talking, hey, by next year I'm winning this. Or we can already see that team will be a strong contender, because everybody's trying to get that. Look at Madrid, like I was listening to this guy, he was like, Mbappe don't have his place in Madrid. They're forcing him in a team that he don't belong. And I was like, I don't think that's I don't think that's the case. I think just that they're still trying to figure out how to do the whole thing, because if you think about it, if they click, it's gonna be dangerous, because when you look at Madrid, those 3 at the front don't really have a position now. If it can work, right? This is the event if it works, because that's why the new era of football, it was more of like positionless football. If you are somewhere, it doesn't mean that's the only position you have to play. You know, especially if you play in Arteta's team nowadays, if you play to all this new wave of managers, you can't just be, I'm just a center back.
Right.
Sometimes you might be a left back.
Sometimes and like I think that his term, like this, whoever this person was that was commenting on this, the sentiment is right. His terminology was wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, it is true. Like it is uncertain, and it's obvious where he is going to be in the build-up in that final third. Is he more on the left wing? Is he more centered like he did at PSG? what does he want to do? What is he being asked to do? What are people around him wanting and asking to do? And, there's already been a lot of jokes of, and Valverde's the one still banging in the goals, which I think is funny as shit. Everybody's drifting to the left for the attack. Everybody,
yeah.
Except Valverde, and he's coming up on the right, and it makes sense.
There was a meme that they showed like the Madrid formation.
Yeah.
And it was like 4 and 6.
Yeah.
But the reason is also because, like I said, they haven't figured out how it will work.
Yeah.
It's just that. Because
it's not there's no place for him. Yeah. It's just exactly how they work together is not figured out yet.
Because
that's all
you think, that's what I'm saying. Because if you think about Ronaldo's days, when he was already transforming to that, because I think Ronaldo is the first person to start the inverted left wing.
Sure.
Because if you think when he was transitioning from left wing to striker, what was there at the time? As a striker, you had Benzema, right? But at some point, because Marcelo, he was really good at in build up and just attacking. He wasn't that good defensively.
Right.
That he had the whole section by himself.
Right.
The whole flank. So if Cristiano is entering and you have Benzema, then you have 2 strikers.
Yep.
How did that work? It worked because at some point they started understanding what needs to be done. When Ronaldo is getting in, should I drop down?
Yep.
Should I be more up? So when it clicks, it will click, because I feel like it will be even more dangerous. But at this point, it's so difficult yet because everybody. No, I wouldn't say everybody, but we all saw Mbappe likes going from left to striker.
Yeah.
Or from that position to entering.
And no matter how much he likes it, he still has to prioritize the striker role because he's the better finisher than Vinicius regardless. Like, I mean, Vinicius can always, like, Mbappe can drift left if he wants to, but Vinicius has to be your most wide on the left. As soon as they start getting tangled up, that's an issue. But Mbappe needs to know what it looks like when Vinicius is cutting inside for himself, when he's cutting inside to create time for build up from the midfield,
that's true.
when he's cutting in directly for a pass to Mbappe. Like you have to start figuring out what those look like.
They're still trying to build that, and that's why Valverde and people like Enrique or Gula will be more dangerous for now, because everybody knows these guys. Even Vinicius is still struggling to adapt. Even Rodrigo, because they know how they kind of play, cutting from the, and it's like, we can mark these guys.
And I think that Valverde is actually going to be their most underappreciated and most valuable player during this process because, one, again, he is still scoring goals. Two, he's always had this ability to score goals in him. He is much more high quality on the ball and for a finish than I think people think. I'm not saying that he is not great in that defensive midfield role, because he is, but once Camavinga is back, Camavinga takes that spot. Valverde has to play a little bit more higher up because he's part of that system. He knows exactly what he's doing. He has a good finish in him while the rest are figuring out what they're doing, but also drawing half the fucking team to them, because you can't leave them alone even if they don't know exactly what they're doing right now. You can't leave them alone. And Valverde has all this space, and he's like, guys, I can take these shots too. And he does. And he's good. Like I think that he'll be very, looking back during this growing process,
he's gonna be,
people will look at him and go, dude, he didn't save the team, because the team's wonderful, but I mean, it's like he picked up a lot of slack during the growing pains, during the awkward stage, and really carried him in that process.
And I think Ancelotti kind of understands that. But the one thing that I like about Ancelotti, to be honest, I feel like if this 2 or 3 years, I don't know how long he will coach again at this level, if he keep racking up Champions League or just trophies, I think he will finish as the greatest manager of all time. Because if you think about it, managing such team is different. It's different from managing a team of good players. Than managing a team of superstars. Although Madrid made Vinicius and Rodrigo the rest superstars because they came young. But if I don't know if you ever had time to look into the first project, the Galacticos era. It couldn't work because too many egos, too many superstars.
Singular players doing what they want to do rather than conceding.
Because all the singular players are also bigger than the team itself. Because you had who? You had monstrous. You had Zidane. You had Figo. You got pretty boy Beckham. It was just all these individuals. You got Roberto Carlos. This was just the elite of the elite. But I'm thinking the way he manages it, because you got Enrique coming in doing what he's got to do. He's happy having just his 5 minutes of play, 10 minutes. That's crazy. But I wonder how long that team will sustain those amount of players, because the more they grow as players and individual, and if they get better, they also become household names. So I wonder how long you will,
But and it is kind of good when you bring the young players into the top squad, because, and I agree that having those egos and having people not wanting to pick up slack for each other, or like, this is my team. The only good thing about that is, if you do get the big head and you've been there for a young age, where do you move on to? Like, you don't have that in the back of your head of going like, oh, I could play here, like, because that's the whole thing, is that like if you're the rock star at Sociedad or even like an Arsenal and even a Liverpool, or you like, there's still always somewhere higher up on the ladder to go. If you're already at the top of the ladder and you think that you deserve more but you can't quite get it, I mean, you have to take your ego and you have to take a step down, and there's a humbling in that. And even if you have that ego, I think that you just kind of stay at Madrid and say, well, fuck it. Like, you kind of have to. You kind of have to sit and accept it.
You're right on that. I'm just saying, think about, at some point, human beings want to also be the person in view or the person in charge. You know, especially when you got notoriety, you got freaking fan base, you got you the popular guy, and you play well at the time. So you might want to be, hey, I might go to Arsenal and just be the guy in Arsenal instead of staying at Madrid and not be the main guy.
And in the back, and I agree with that. And there's nothing wrong with that, and that has to be done. But what I'm saying is that, like, sometimes someone's ego might not allow them to step down because they, whether they're starting or not, they came in at a young age at the very, very top club. I think that being a factor, and I think that, honestly, using Neymar as a case study as well.
That's what I was.
I think a lot of ego-driven players are kind of scared in a healthy way, not in an unconfident way. But I mean, you don't want to. I mean, I don't think that Barcelona to PSG was a promotion. It was a step sideways at best.
Yes.
But the way that PSG painted the landscape for him made it seem like a promotion, and now we saw the truth of it. Nothing really came from that. But yeah, when there's nowhere else to go, not even sideways, only down, I think that these ego-driven players might be more willing to accept their minutes at Madrid if their ego is running rampant, because it's hard to like step down and still feel like the big dog unless you're a fucking maniac.
Plus, you think about it, it's like, again, I had to stay here and win something. Not saying that I would not win something at another club, but the probability for me to win that thing, or any cup, league, individual, player, individual award or whatever at another team might be, a little more challenging.
If I sign a 3-year deal at Real Madrid,
you guarantee at least a Champions.
Unless I'm Harry Kane. No, but like you're either going to be on that podium
at some point,
holding a league title, a Copa del Rey title, a Champions League title. Like, you're holding something.
What was the joke? Oh, dang, I forgot the joke. But apparently something like Florentino Perez. He just showed the cabinet and say, we don't play tactics here. We win trophies. We don't have those stars. Oh, you gotta do it. Nah, brother. This is where we win. But another thing is, I heard, how about Chelsea? They played very well, and I heard
against Wolves. But yes,
but
Nani Madueke. We've said that for a long time. He why he was not in the starting lineup for week 1, I believe, or in the preseason, was absolute bullshit. You have to start him now. I think he's so underrated, and I think that he needs to go somewhere else.
I think if he has time and playing time, and they let him evolve as a player, oh man,
there should be no competing for that right wing spot now. I think that's his.
I think that's
it. Has to be. I mean, like, I'm not saying it is in reality, because they're all maniacs at that club. But to me, on paper, I'm like, I mean,
one Arsenal guy told me he wanted Arsenal to go for him to buy him as a striker position.
He's not a striker, but he does seem like he has a quality finish in him. And I instead of converting him to a striker, if you're an Arsenal fan, could you potentially convert him to a left wing? Martinelli is seemingly not jiving with the system right now, and Trossard, even though he is the better player of those two, he always seems more impactful coming on.
I think because he got a lot of energy coming after both teams are kind of low.
Exactly,
tired.
exactly.
You know,
And because Martinelli is a
the-
speed demon, like that's the one thing that Martinelli can do. He will wear you down. He does run like a maniac down the wing. His finishing product is not there, and as of late, his ability to pick passes, choosing when to cut inside for chances for himself or feed the ball back into the box, have really, really been limited. But Madueke is just as athletic as Martinelli.
Yeah,
He might they might be very similar on pace, but I think that on the ball they're pretty similar as well. So I mean, you usually like your wingers to have the opposite foot of that side. So a left-footed player on the left wing is not usually what you want the most. But he seems like he's pretty good at dribbling and feeding the ball back in as well. So I don't know. I mean, that would be a good thing. But yeah, Martinelli's not seemingly jiving with the system that well right now at the moment.
I mean, he's probably gonna get there at some point.
And he's never been a world-class finisher either. No. He's been he has world-class pace and world-class at zipping down the fucking wing and holding up ball and waiting for the team to regroup around him. He's always been good at that.
The crazy part that I see right now is Chelsea's squad. What's the guy, Maresca? He said he just works with 21 players. That's a crazy thing to say.
Which was funny. I saw someone say, well, he's working with 21, so I guess they don't play 11 on 11 because it's not possible. But it's like you need to do more than that. But yeah, he basically said, I don't talk to half the players.
Yeah, because I know Arsenal is working with 25 players. And he wants 25. I mean, if you play a crazy season, you might need more players than 21. But it's funny because they have so much players. They have like 8 goalkeepers. They have so much play, and the whole situation with Sterling and Chilwell. I don't know where Sterling is gonna go now. I heard
Crystal Palace was a rumor.
Oh, Crystal Palace. Oh man, I don't know what Crystal Palace is cooking.
Villa was a rumor as well.
Man, I think he still got 2 years worth of football in him.
Yeah,
he just needs a team to exploit.
He has more than 2 years of football. You're talking about at that very top level, which I agree with as well. Because I mean, like he will. Not saying he will as in he's being forced to, but like he'll have an offer from Saudi Arabia when he's 33, 34. Like they'll want him there and he'll get more. So like he'll play until he's late 30s at a club somewhere. Yeah. I could see him even making an MLS run because people here like him. He's played at Liverpool, Chelsea, and City. People in America know who he is. Yeah. If he wants to still play competitively, he can do that. But yeah, in the top 5 leagues in the world, I agree with you. He probably has 2 more seasons, but not at one of the top flight clubs, probably mid-flight. Right. Yeah, I agree.
Chelsea have expelled as many as 13 first-team players, including Raheem Sterling and Ben Chilwell. It's crazy. Chelsea management is something. It is a case study.
Because even when they're doing the right thing, they're doing it the wrong way. Like, you have to limit your squad, but of course you're doing that because you made a mistake in hiring too many players. But now how you're choosing to pick those players and have like almost no rotation in practice. Like you need to limit them, but you don't need to alienate people either, because you're going to eventually need more than you have right now because of injury and longevity during the season. Yeah. And those players are going to remember, remember when you iced me out for the first 8 weeks, coach? Yeah, I'm going to be a fucking superstar for you now. Like they're doing all the right things in the wrong ways and then wrong things in the wrong way. Like they literally can't do a single thing the way it's supposed to be done right now for some reason.
Scott McTominay to Napoli. Here we go. Deal is in place, and for 30 million package plus sell on clause. McTominay and Lukaku at Napoli. What the hell is Napoli cooking?
Yeah, I mean, I still can't figure out if Scott McTominay is a great player or not. He just because for every time that he scores a weird goal and does something, like he never feels like he's in control of the crazy things that he does.
He's one of those sporadic players. Like you really don't know what you're gonna get these days. You can get an A+, or you could definitely get an F.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, and like that's an odd one because I don't know if that's what Napoli needs during a rebuild, because Osman's on his way out. Yeah. Even though it looks like he kind of wanted to re-sign, Kvaratskhelia is probably out. Yeah. Kim's already out. Your world-class midfield that won you the title of Zielinski, Lobotka, and Gisa, they're not playing the right way anymore either. So, you know what I mean? Like at a certain point, you don't want to bank on a Scott McTominay. You kind of need to bring some. Honestly, you need to land somebody like McAllister while he was at Brighton. Yes. Not McAllister while he's at Liverpool, but get somebody that's reliable in the midfield, that's cheap, that can set the tempo. But it's an interesting choice for them to take a chance on that.
I just wanted to say this interesting stat before we call it because I gotta be somewhere. But players with most Premier League points in first 100 games, home games especially. Evra leading. I mean, that's a little bit strange, but I can understand Evra back in the day. Van Dijk is up there second. Third is Carrick. Fourth is Vidic. Interesting story. When I started playing football, I was a central back, and they used to call me Vidic.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah. It was like I was the guy. Then after, there was another player. After when I transitioned, they started calling me that player, but I forgot his name. He used to play at Chelsea too, but yeah. So it's interesting. Where do you see Vidic? Not I said Vidic. Where do you see Van Dijk after he finishes his career? Because he's still gonna be at Liverpool this year, probably next year. I don't know when his contract's on. So he might finish high up there. I'm talking about top 3.
Yeah,
of defenders.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
because I don't see who will be better than him. Or again, I'm talking the Premier League. I don't see who was better than him already at this time.
But we're including
everyone you can think about.
Appearances and titles and everything.
Everything. Because he's got a lot of titles than most of the.
Who does?
Van Dijk. Because he got a Champions League at least. Yeah. I'm talking about especially in that top 3-5 position. Most of them probably. I know Evra has a Champions League, probably 2 with United. I don't know when he started playing with United, but I know he got one. That 2008. But that's the only guy that I can think of, especially as a central back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
On that defensive position, but yeah, it is pretty interesting that he got like 263 points. It's 262 and Evra has 263, so he's gonna pass Evra at some point.
Yeah,
might be this week. Yeah, true. That's pretty interesting. Yeah. Well, like I said, if you don't want to see us, go subscribe, listen to Spotify.
Give us that star review. Spotify star review, motherfuckers.
All the links in the description and everything that you want, hope, wish, want to hear about football. We talk about it a little bit.
We're very charitable that way. Games. We care about you.
Yeah.
So shape up. Give us the views.
Up.
Give it.
Give us a thumbs up. Turn on your bell notification and follow us. Yeah. Go. Go enjoy the show, man.
Enjoy it. Enjoy life. Mm-hmm. Enjoy life. Well, put this on while you're, working on the farm, while you're fishing, while you're on the subway, while you're eating Subway during lunch.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it. Enjoy it. We enjoy you.
Yeah.
Well, we get by with it.
Yeah. Well, bye, y'all.
Bye.